Hi guys, how are you all doing? It's wonderful to have you all today, and my name is Mirabelle, and I'm going to take you guys on logo creation. But before we start any project on that, I'm going to take you guys on a tour. Yes, on a tour around the app we're going to be using for our creations and our projects as time goes on, right? It's called Pixalab, like you already know. So I'll show you the basic things you need to know first off on this app for your creations, all the necessary things. And again, I am all very excited to be part of your journey on learning graphics design, part of graphics design actually. I know some of you already have an idea about it, but I am still glad you took the decision to be here, irrespective. So, first off, you're going to open your app, your Pixel app. I've already done that, and once you do, this is the first first part you're going to see. What you see right now on my screen, this new text written there and those blue, all of that's what you're going to see first. So I'll try make this as short as possible, but anyhow it goes, that's it. So first thing first, we're going to start with, we have 5 icons at the bottom, so we'll start with that before going up to the top, right? So we have projects, my project here. Your projects are probably what you've done before, then you save them. Yes, you save them. Then we have different background here. This blue part, this blue part at the bottom. This is your background. We call it a background too as well, because there are more than one background too. I'll show you the other as time goes on, right? So we have this one, we have this different kinds of background. You have this for flyers, this is just for anything colorful if you want. This is 3D, this other 3D, embossed 3D. This is just a different kind of 3D. This is for curve test. This is vivid. This is old. It gives you the old feeling. This reflects your text. This is shiny. This is inner. It puts your word inside the background, and this is just a blank white space. So we're going to be using this for most of our work, right? So yes, new test. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete this, right? Then we're going on to the second part. We have, after deleting that new text on your screen, you're seeing text and quotes when you tap on this. Okay, let's go back. Imagine we did not delete it, right? Then once you tap on text, you're seeing different thing. But once you delete it, you're seeing just text and quotes. Text, once you tap on text, you get a new text where you can edit it. So now we're going to start. I'll edit this. Let's say use the word or a phrase, any word you want to use at a particular time. So let's say bad people. No, that's too serious. So we'll go with good people, right? Good people. So it's in capital letter. You could tap on this T up there and it changes to small letter and back to capital letter. So that's it. So you could delete. We all know what delete does, right? Okay. Then we have copy. Copy. You tap on it and it copies what you have already before. So we're going to delete that out and tap on this again. Then we have to front to back. So we'll explain those ones a little bit later when we have a situation of that, and I'm sure we're going to have it. So we have position. Position helps you move your letter or your text to wherever you want. Putting at the 20 part, it's really fast. Putting at 1, it's really slow. It just goes a little distance at a time, right? That's how it is. We have relative position. This one takes it to the left, the other one takes it to the right. the other one, this one takes it to the bottom and the other to the top, while the ones at the middle puts it in the middle of the background, just right in the middle of the background, right? That's how it is. Then we have the text size. The text size, you get to increase, decrease, and increase to your preference. Then we have padding. Padding moves, left padding moves it distance to the right, right? Right padding increases the space to the left. That's how it is. Okay, so we're going to reverse this, and we have color. Color, you can find different colors you want to use here. Let's say I want to use this color, right? You could change your colors here, and you could also do it over there by tapping on this plus here, and you could choose whatever color you want. Okay, like that. You could also control how light you want it, how dark it is, or how transparent you want it as well, like that. Alright, that's basically it. And we have gradients. Gradients here, you get to decide if you want to use more than one colors. We'll go into details with this later on when we're doing a project that relates to it. I'm certain we're going to do so, right? So that's basically it for it. So we'll choose a particular color, just one, right? Okay, now we have texture. Texture is, you could use texture in case you want to use a particular color or a design that's not in the Pixalab interface, right? You could just tap on texture. You should have it on your phone by then already. Tap on texture. So I'll show you one of them. So I think I have one of it in my background. Sorry, in my downloads. So it's loading, right? So yeah, it is. This is a good texture. We're using it to explain it. So you see our text is now good. That good texture it is. You could make it, just direct it to how you want it, right? So we're going to delete this now and go back to our normal position. So now we have opacity. Opacity helps you control how visible you want your text to be. uh if you want it totally gone, or you just want it a little bit faint, or you still want it as bright as it was originally. So that's basically how it is, right? So we have rotate. Rotate helps you rotate 180-degree to the left and 180-degree to the right, basically 180 degrees rather. That's approximately 360 degrees. It goes how you want it to be. So that's it. Then we have max. Max help you to cut out some parts of your text out. So we have max like this. We're going to be looking at a project that has to explain max in detail as well. So this is just when you enable it to cut that part out, because that's where it is. It is just right on top of that part of the letter. If you remove it, then it goes back to the original position, but we'll explain this later on. So cancel this and move on. Then we have our font. Pixelab has different fonts you can use, amazing fonts as well you could choose from for your work. We have Amaranth Gold, Amaranth Regular, Amaranth Bold rather. We have Armstrong and different. I like using these a lot, so we'll be using these for now. Then we have style. Can make this bold, italics, underline your word, and this T crossed is going to take your words or your text back to the original position. It's bold, it's italics, and underlined. So if you don't want this, you could just tap on it again. Sorry about that. We'll go back to our style and just tap on this, then it's back to the original position. We have curve. This is what it helps you to do. It helps bend your text to however you want. We have background. When you enable this gives your text its own background. You could do this any background of your choice. You could just, if it's just one part of it, you use the left padding, or you just want, or probably you just want the right part, just one part, like that, or like this, anyhow you want it to be. That's what the background is for. Then align helps you to put your text, probably is in this form. It helps you align it to the right or to the left or to the middle, like that. So going to arrange this back. Probably you have a lot of text, more than these two words here. Yes, you use your align to align it the way you want it. We have spacing. Spacing you could do for letters, and it just increase the space for the letters itself. Just gives them a lot of space, right? Then we have for words, probably the words that it takes them wide apart, anyhow you want them to be. That's how the spacing works. We have line spacing. It just takes it up, down, just to increase the space here. It's probably not of more use. You could easily do this yourself most of the time though. But anyway, that's it. So we have stroke. When you enable stroke, it gives your work another color or another edge looking. You could use a black, gray, any color that suits your work at that particular time. You could just want to make it look even bolder, right? You could add stroke, you could increase it, or you could just take it all away. So we're going to disable this now and move on. We have shadow. Enabling shadow gives your work its shadow. You could increase the blur radius or decrease the blur radius. Depends on your work. You could change it. You could change the color of your you could change the color of your shadow. Different colors for shadow. You could move it how you want it, place it wherever you want it to be. Then we have inner shadow. This is the shadow for the word itself. You could increase the blur radius, and increasing it just takes it to a different level, making it look so dark and usually not fine because your word is not really as visible as it wants to be. That's for shadow. That's for inner shadow. Then we have emboss. This makes your letter shiny. So most of the time this happens. So when this happens, all you have to do is just arrange it. Then we have the light angle. The light angle helps you to make it look different. The angle in which you want to be seeing it from, you want the embossment to be seen. You could increase the intensity of it. You could increase the light, the ambient light, or reduce it. The specular hardness helps you just balance it so that it does not look too glowing and stuff. You could just make it look as if it's there, right? With the bevel, mostly for the work I do, I mostly reduce the bevel because it's important for my work to look nice and good. So we're going to explain more of that later. So we're going to cancel this. We have perspective. Perspective helps give your work a different angle. So when you enable it, this is what it does. It just depends on how you want it to be. Anyhow you want it to be, whatever angle you want it to be. Right? So that's for perspective. Then we have 3D rotate. You use your 3D rotate after doing your 3D text. Enabling 3D, this is what it's like. So you could do a lot of things. You could do Y rotation. Y rotation is the two angles, left and right. S rotation is up and down. Anywhere you want it to be visible from, or you have your Z rotation, and a lot more other features you need to know, but you could use as well, right? So you could know all this by exploring the app yourself, because you can't learn everything from me, but you teaching yourself and doing more practices could help you a lot. Then we have 3D shadow as well. We have 3D shadow. Going, we have reflection. It reflects your work, and that's it for text. So we're going to delete this now because we're going into another phase. We're going to the next one, which is shapes. We have the stickers, anyone you want to use if it's suitable for your work, but I mostly don't use stickers because I don't need it most of the time, right? So we have import. You get to import your whatever you have from your gallery as well. You could import anything from your gallery. You could draw from here if you're good at drawing. You could draw. Then we have shapes. You can change your shapes to whatever you want, whatever thing you want to do. So we'll be using this. We should use this to explain most of our work, right? So we have crop. You could crop your shape as well. Then we have copy, just as I explained on the text part. You have shapes. You have, okay, let's change. We have color. You could change the color from here. So this is red color. So regarding the to front and the to back, I told you about it earlier. You could just tap to back here, and the red part is behind the white one. Tap to front and it's back in front. That's the explanation for the to front and the to back part. So we're going to delete that. We delete this. So we have position. Like I said, you could move it how you want it with the aid of position. Relative position helps you to move it side and right in the middle. Then we have relative size. You could change the size from here how you want it. You could increase the height as well, like that. Texture, like I explained earlier as well, you could also do that with texture. Change it in case you don't want the colors from the Pixalab app. You could just get a texture from your phone, from your gallery or your drive, anywhere it's saved in your phone, and changes to that. We have the opacity. It also has to do with the visibility as well. We have color filters. You change the colors, but we're not going to be using that now. It's not working because it's a white background. We have stroke. Like I said, you could increase your stroke. Let's say our stroke is this, so you see, or reduce it however you want it to be. We have eraser. You could erase some part of it, and you see that part is gone because we erased it out. But because we have a stroke, because there's stroke involved in it, the stroke has to take the part that was erased out. So we're going to disable this, and see, as you can see, it's all, that part we cleaned out is all gone out. So I'm going to go back. This is the rewind. It takes it back to the original position. So we have 3D shape, like I also explained. That's for the 3D. We have the rotate, helps you rotate it as well. We have the perspective. That's for perspective. Then we have max. I explained max before for text, and later when you enable it, that part is gone. That's for max. We have shadow, the shadow as well. Same process. You work for your text, you work for your shapes as well for shadow. The inner shadow, giving your work its own shadow. The inner shadow, like, then the outer shadow is just shadow, then inner shadow, then emboss. Enable this. When you see all those crack marks, you just arrange it to give it back its original shape, like that. And that's basically it for shapes and letters. So I'm going to delete this, right? So we're going to the third part. The fourth part rather. The fourth part has to do with your background as well. It's also called the background too. So we have the colors. You could change your background to any color you want it to be. Right? And the gradient as well. Then we have transparent. You for a transparent background if that's what you want. You could change your image size from here. We have different size. We have the profile picture size. Up the YouTube thumbnail, or you could just change the size from here as well. Whatever you want it to be. If you already have it in mind. So I'm going to go back to the one we were using before this. So image, you could get this image gotten from Pixalab itself. These are Pixalab images. So I'm right. Then from gallery, you could get it from your gallery. Probably you want a particular image from your gallery. So we're going to choose an image. Let's use this. So voila, it's there already. Then probably you have a particular background you would like to use. You could just use from camera and just take a picture of it like that. So then we have the bottom part. So we'll go back to change this to this. We have the last part. This is just for colors. You can rotate your this for rotate, but we can't rotate our background. This is you enable this is what it gives to you. We have the noise. Could just make it look rough and those texture look like that. The stripes, it gives your work stripes. You could increase it how you want it, or make it look so plenty, or decrease it like that. We have the brightness. This brightens and darken it however you want it to be. You have the contrast, the hotness and coldness of your color. The hues changes it to different color along the line. Now ours is purple. We have the saturation. Saturation also has to do with the hotness and coldness of your work as well. So let's go over to the top part. Tapping on this is layer. Whatever you have on your background is what comes out there. So we have this automatically that is there, right? If you delete this, it's no longer there. Okay, so this is grid. We have this text and it just helps you to put it in the right position like that. That's for grid. This is to help you zoom. This is the zoom features. It helps you zoom your work, and tapping on it, it's there already. Right, this is the reverse. This is the shortcut for your text, your current date, your sticker, your shapes from gallery. In case you don't want to tap on the A later, you could just tap on this plus and get your text and get your shapes there as well. This is other features you could use. I'm sure you're going to do a proper scrutiny of this app and learn them properly as well. This is for quotes. We mostly don't use quotes, but probably you have a need for it. You could just tap on that quote icon and you get different quotes. This is a quick share. You could easily share your work, save it to gallery, or you share it to somebody of your choice, your client probably. You could save as project, like I explained to you. Save it. Once you're done with your work, you can save as project, and it goes directly to this bar. So let's say we want to save this as project. You tap my mind, right? And automatically it's over here. You could come back to it anytime you want, or you could save as image. So I'm going to save it for ultra. It makes it really bright. Save it to gallery and it saves that image automatically. So guys, that's basically it for our tour. That's all for our tour. I implore you all to still do more search on the app, and along the line we're still going to learn other things together. I am so glad you guys decided to take this journey with me, and I hope you had fun. So we're going to be doing something really amazing very soon. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. All right, thank you.